Oh, onion rings. Is there anything more irresistible than a tower of these golden beauties? Crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, they're the perfect sidekick to a juicy burger, a crispy fried chicken sandwich, or even just a simple plate of ketchup for dipping. Today, we're diving headfirst into the wonderful world of onion rings, and I'm sharing my all-time favorite recipe with you. This ain't your average onion ring recipe. This is the recipe that'll make your family and friends declare you the reigning monarch of all things crispy and oniony. We're talking about onion rings so good, they'll disappear faster than you can say extra ranch. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a big bowl of batter, because we're about to embark on a culinary adventure that'll have you saying goodbye to soggy, greasy onion rings forever. Trust me, once you try these homemade beauties, you'll never even think about ordering takeout again. Before we get this onion ring party started, let's round up our ingredients. Don't worry, I'm all about keeping things simple and using pantry staples whenever possible. Here's what you'll need. Onions. You can't have onion rings without onions, right? We'll talk more about choosing the best onions for frying in a bit. All-purpose flour. This is the base of our batter, providing that classic crispy coating. Cornstarch. A touch of cornstarch added to the flour mixture guarantees extra crunch. Baking powder. A little bit of baking powder goes a long way in creating light and airy onion rings. Salt and pepper seasoning is key, folks. Don't be shy with the salt and pepper. Milk or buttermilk. We'll be using either milk or buttermilk to create a batter that's the perfect consistency for coating our onions. Eggs. Eggs help bind the batter together, ensuring it sticks to the onions like glue. Oil for frying. We'll delve into the best oils for frying later on, but you'll need a good amount for deep frying. That's it. See? Simple, everyday ingredients that come together to create something truly extraordinary. Now, let's get cooking. All right, let's get down to business. First things first, we need to prep our onions. Grab your sharpest knife, safety first, and slice those onions into rings about ½ inch thick. You want them to be sturdy enough to hold their shape during frying, but not so thick that they're raw in the center. Now, for the batter. In a large bowl, whisk together the flour, cornstarch, baking powder, salt, and pepper. This is our dry mixture, where all the crispy magic begins. In a separate bowl, whisk together the milk or buttermilk and eggs. This is our wet mixture, which will add moisture and richness to the batter. Now here's a little trick for extra crispy onion rings. Add a tablespoon or two of the dry mixture to the wet mixture and whisk until just combined. This will help create a thicker coating on the onion rings, resulting in maximum crunch. Okay folks, it's showtime. Fill a large, heavy-bottom pot or Dutch oven about halfway with your chosen frying oil. Heat the oil over medium-high heat. You'll know it's ready when a pinch of flour sizzles and floats to the top. While the oil is heating, it's time to give those onion rings a dip in the batter. Dip each onion ring into the batter, letting any excess drip back into the bowl. Gently lower the battered onion rings into the hot oil, working in batches so you don't overcrowd the pot. Now here comes the hard part. Waiting. Fry the onion rings for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, or until they're golden brown and crispy. Resist the urge to overcrowd the pot, as this will lower the oil temperature and result in greasy onion rings. Once the onion rings are cooked to perfection, use a slotted spoon or spider to carefully remove them from the hot oil. Place them on a wire rack set over a baking sheet to drain any excess oil. This will help them stay crispy while you finish frying the rest of the batches. Section 5. Choosing your champion, selecting the right oil. Now let's talk about oil. Choosing the right oil for frying is crucial for achieving that perfect crispy texture and delicious flavor. You want an oil with a high smoke point, which means it can withstand high temperatures without breaking down and imparting off flavors. My go-to oils for frying onion rings are peanut oil and canola oil. They both have neutral flavors that won't overpower the taste of the onions, and they have high smoke points, making them ideal for deep frying. Vegetable oil is another suitable option. Avoid using oils with low smoke points, such as olive oil or butter. These oils will burn at high temperatures, resulting in bitter-tasting onion rings and a smoky kitchen. Trust me, nobody wants that. Section 6. Dip, dunk, and devour. Serving your crispy creations. All right, folks, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to pile those crispy, golden brown onion rings high and dig in. Serve them immediately while they're still hot and crispy, because let's be honest, nobody likes a lukewarm onion ring. Now let's talk dipping sauces. The possibilities are endless. Of course, you can't go wrong with classic ketchup, but why stop there? Ranch dressing is always a winner, and honey mustard adds a touch of sweetness. For a spicy kick, try sriracha mayo or chipotle ranch. Feeling adventurous? Whip up a batch of homemade fry sauce by combining mayonnaise, ketchup, pickle relish, and a dash of hot sauce. The tangy, creamy flavor is the perfect complement to crispy onion rings. No matter how you choose to enjoy them, these onion rings are sure to be a hit. So gather your loved ones, crank up the tunes, and get ready for a finger-licking good time. Section 7. Troubleshooting for triumph. Conquering common issues. Even seasoned pros encounter a kitchen mishap now and then. Fear not, my friend. Here are a few common onion ring conundrums and how to conquer them. Soggy onion rings, the nemesis of all onion ring enthusiasts. To combat sogginess, ensure your oil is hot enough before adding the onion rings. Overcrowding the pot can also lead to soggy rings, so fry in batches. Finally, make sure your onion rings are completely drained of excess oil before serving. Batter falling off. A common culprit is a batter that's too thin. Ensure your batter is thick enough to coat the onion rings evenly. You can adjust the consistency by adding a tablespoon or two of flour to the batter, as needed. Onion rings too dark. This indicates your oil is too hot. Adjust the heat to medium-high and monitor the temperature closely. Remember, it's better to fry at a slightly lower temperature for a longer time to ensure the onion rings cook through evenly. Onion rings too greasy. This usually means the oil wasn't hot enough, preventing the onion rings from crisping up and absorbing excess oil. Make sure your oil is at the correct temperature before adding the onion rings. Section 8. Beyond the basics, variations on a theme. Once you've mastered the art of the classic onion ring, it's time to get creative. Here are a few fun and flavorful variations to try. Spicy onion rings. Add a pinch of cayenne pepper or a dash of hot sauce to the batter for an extra kick. You can also sprinkle the finished onion rings with your favorite chili powder or paprika. Cheesy onion rings. Who doesn't love a little cheese? Add a handful of shredded cheddar cheese or pepper jack cheese to the batter for a gooey, cheesy twist. Beer-battered onion rings. Substitute the milk or buttermilk in the batter with your favorite beer for a slightly tangy and extra crispy coating. Panko-crusted onion rings. For an extra crunchy texture, try dredging the battered onion rings in panko breadcrumbs before frying. The panko breadcrumbs will create a beautifully golden and crispy crust. Section 9. Leftover love storing and reheating your rings. Let's be real, leftover onion rings are a rare and precious commodity. But if you happen to find yourself with a few stragglers, don't despair. Here's how to store and reheat them for maximum enjoyment. Storing. Allow the onion rings to cool completely, then transfer them to an airtight container. Store them in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. Reheating. The best way to reheat onion rings is in the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. Place the onion rings in a single layer on a baking sheet and bake for 5 to 7 minutes, or until heated through. This will help them regain their crispiness. Avoid reheating onion rings in the microwave, as this will make them soggy. Nobody wants a soggy onion ring. Section 10. Onion ring lore, a bite of history. Did you know that onion rings have been tantalizing taste buds for centuries? While the exact origins of this beloved food are shrouded in mystery, there are a few contenders vying for the title of onion ring inventor. Some food historians believe that a recipe for onion rings fried in batter appeared in a cookbook published in England in the 1800s. Others claim that onion rings first gained popularity in the United States in the early 1900s, with restaurants and diners adding them to their menus as a tasty and affordable side dish. Regardless of their exact origins, one thing's for sure, onion rings have stood the test of time and remain a beloved food enjoyed by people all over the world. Section 11. Conclusion. Embrace your inner onion ring master. Congratulations, my friend. You've officially graduated from onion ring novice to onion ring aficionado. Armed with this foolproof recipe and my trusty tips, you're well on your way to creating onion rings that'll have everyone singing your praises. Remember, the key to perfect onion rings is to have fun and experiment. Don't be afraid to try different seasonings, dipping sauces, or even different types of onions. The possibilities are endless, So embrace your inner onion ring master and let your creativity run wild. Now go forth and fry. And don't forget to share your onion ring triumphs, and maybe even a few rings, with me. Happy cooking!